Welcome to Pantry Purge Day 4, where we're finishing up the perimeter of the supermarket. Today we're talking about seafood, fish and shellfish. And the first thing I'd like to say is that this is an amazing nutritional punch to add to your diet if you're not eating it already. Fish and shellfish, all seafood has great lean protein. It has healthy fats like your omega-3s. And lots of vitamins and minerals, so it packs a heck of a nutritional punch. It includes vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, lots of the good stuff. So I highly recommend. We are not in front of the fresh fish today, but we're going to take a scan over there because it's a little crowded. It's a Saturday evening. But anyway, I've got a few things in my cart we're going to talk about. What I would like to say first is about if you're looking at packaged or processed fish, which a lot of us buy these days. It's convenient, it's easy to grab. Sometimes we get home delivery. Make sure you're reading those labels, just so like we've been talking about. To give you an example, these look pretty fun, fish sticks, right? Make sure you're reading those labels and looking for those ingredient lists. If you've got lots of syllables, tough to pronounce, you got to squint to read it, remember, ditch it. So be careful. Also with fish, they can be processed just like everything else with additives and preservatives. Even when you find fresh fish at the supermarket in the case, or if you even go to a fish store, sometimes they have additives to preserve them just for transport. So if you don't see it on a label on anything packaged, it probably doesn't have it. If you are looking at fish fresh in the case, like we have over here, then you might want to ask or notice the fine print on some of the labeling, because oftentimes, like I said, it is added for transport to make sure there's no spoilage. Other things you want to look for, sometimes salmon is given coloring in their feed or grains when it's farm raised, so you want to be careful about that. You want to always choose wild caught over fresh caught. That's a good designation. When fish is wild caught, it comes from deeper in the ocean, away from the toxicity of Mother Earth over here, where we have a lot of toxins. So it's out in the wild and it's eating its own natural diet. The farm-raised fish and seafood, shellfish, often has, like I said, additives in the feed. It's also more subject to the toxicity that comes off of our land and here on in the shores. So the further out you get, the better. I've got some examples here of some fish. One of the things you want to look at is mercury. A lot of people are afraid of mercury in fish. Here's the story. Pretty much all seafood, whether it's fish or shellfish, has some kind of heavy metal in it, usually mercury in very trace amounts. Our body can handle a small amount. It can detoxify. It knows how to do that. It's smart, especially if our immune system is strong. So it's okay to eat seafood on a regular basis, a few times a week. What I would stay away from are the fish that have the highest mercury counts, and those are your big ocean fish like tuna, marlin, king mackerel, orange roughy, Chilean sea bass, swordfish. Those are all much higher in mercury, and it's better off avoiding them if you can, especially if you have a compromised immune system or any chronic illness that taxes your immune system. If you do like those fish and want to eat them once in a while, do so understanding that. Tuna, for instance, there are cuts of tuna that have less mercury. If you go for the skipjack or the chunk light, it has less mercury than the white albacore, and this brand, particularly Wild Planet, is known for catching wild tuna and other wild fish, and minimally processed and independently tested for the lowest mercury you can find. So I recommend it. Other safe fish are your canned fish, the small fatty fish like sardines and anchovies. And other safe fish to go for is your wild caught salmon. This is a wild-caught flounder. This I pulled out as an example because it looks nice and healthy. Wild-caught flounder fillets, looks good, sounds good. However, if you look back here at the label, it contains this long word that we can't pronounce to retain moisture. It's probably an additive that we don't want to eat, so I would not purchase that. Here's an example of a swordfish that's packaged. It looks good, wild-caught, but we all know that it does have higher levels of mercury in it. So in recap, go for your canned fatty fishes like sardines and anchovies. Go for your pole caught or wild caught, especially salmon. Go for your small whitefish like cod and haddock. And shellfish of any type has very excellent levels of nutrition and very excellent safety. So that would be your lobster, clams, mussels, scallops, anything of that nature. So I think that pretty much covers it for today. Tomorrow's our last day. We'll do a recap and give you some healthy tips for restocking your pantry. We'll see you then tomorrow at 5:30. If you have comments or questions, please leave them below, and I will be monitoring and responding. And have a good evening. Bye-bye.